From the Scheme Warriors, Ilan and Phil from the Chrome Zone Illusions, plus Hugues Joffre from Sotheby's, who knows all about the real value of art, and Sergeant Goodyear from British Transport Police, who's here to deal with the area most graffiti lovers would rather ignore, the law. But first, let's have a look at this film, where Andrea Arnold went out into West London and looked at graffiti in its environment.
This is the heart of the inner city. It's actually London, but it could be a lot of other places. Lots of high-rise buildings, busy traffic and flyovers, which provide a lot of nice, blank, concrete spaces. A boy caught painting graffiti on the tube train died as he ran over high-voltage railway tracks, trying to escape police. The teenager was among a group of youths disturbed as they sprayed paint on trains on London's underground Metropolitan line. The boy, who had not been named, was the third youth to die inside a year on that stretch of the underground. Well, this is the Metropolitan line. Probably what that boy was doing when he got killed was something called tagging. Now, a tag is a graffiti signature. It's like your calling card. And the more inaccessible and dangerous place you can leave your tag, the higher esteem you're held in by other people that do graffiti. However, if you tag in dangerous places like this, then it's considered to be trespassing. Therefore, it's illegal. This is the Acton Play Centre, right underneath the Westway, where they actually let you do graffiti. I'm going to meet a couple of guys. Pete, you used to be in a graffiti crew. Can you tell us what a crew is?
Well, a crew is like a team. It comprises of maybe 2 or 3 or 4 people. And that basically is what is a crew. You know, you all go out and you do your graffiti together, and you get the credit as one team.
Did you have a name?
We used to be called the Non-Stop Artists.
Why did you get into graffiti?
We got into graffiti because I was good at drawing and I enjoy drawing, so I thought I'd put what I thought I had a talent onto a wall.
And do you still do graffiti now?
Occasionally, if we get asked to, mainly for money, we don't do it. We've got nothing else to prove now.
So what kind of things do you do?
Well, at this moment, we're doing some record covers, we've done a few concerts for television, and just basically publicity, just graffiti, just to sell merchandise.
So you could actually make a living out of it, perhaps?
Not graffiti as such, maybe as an artist, but not graffiti.
Now, this is also illegal because it's seen to be a form of vandalism. But I'll let you make up your own mind. Is this vandalism, or does it actually cheer the place up? Can you tell me what you think of the graffiti around here?
I think it's quite nice.
Do you think graffiti's art or vandalism?
Some of it's art, and depending where you put it, it can be vandalism.
I think it's a mess.
Why do you think it's a mess?
It just ruins the environment. The state of the building's awful. Same as the advertising posters. Just too much for me.
Well, I think it's art.
You think it's art? You like it?
Yeah, because in Basin Street, there's a nice one up there.
Have you ever graffitied yourself?
No.
Why not?
No, I can't do it.
Vandalism, most of it is. Some of it is nice to look at, but some of it, well, majority of it, 99% is just vandalism.
I think it's good. No, it's good. It's dreadful.
Why do you think it's dreadful?
No,
It's perhaps not artistic for the older generation, but for the younger people, it's art.
You don't like it?
No.
You do like it?
No.
You don't think anything?
Oh, I don't think much of anything, no.
Now, can you tell me what you think of the graffiti around here?
Ah, brilliant. To a point.
You haven't seen the graffiti?
Where
you
is
live
that?
around
Where?
here. It's all over the place. Under the Westway?
Yeah, that's
but it's
good.
always been
Under the
there.
Westway is good.
So do you think graffiti's art or vandalism?
Sometimes. It depends on where it's been put on. If it's done on someone's wall, then it's horrible. But if it's done somewhere where it's just like the Westway, fair enough, it's good.
Right, crew members, artists or vandals? Phil?
It depends on what context you put it in. Like I say, it depends on where it's done.
Why do your crew do your graffiti?
Well, we've got a derelict place in Brighton and Hove where we do it on and off. they get moved onto sites and just find basically anywhere to
So you find sort of places that look pretty bad, for example.
We just find somewhere that's basically a wreck, and we just make it look beautiful as far as we're concerned.
Would you ever graffiti on someone's private property, for example?
No way.
There's a certain set of like morals.
We keep to.
Yeah. I mean, we set ourselves our own morals to go by. I mean, we wouldn't
So the crews
do
have got
it
their
on
own
someone
codes.
else's. Yeah, we wouldn't do it on someone else's property because we wouldn't like it to be done to ours.
True.
Fair enough. What about you two at the back?
Well, I think, generally speaking, I think, it's both art and vandalism sort of thing.
Yeah. So you do admit, I mean, a lot of graffiti artists will go out there and just use any wall.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Sure.
What about from the point of view of the law, Sergeant Goodyear? Is there any difference between brightening up a derelict place and doing it on private property or transport?
Well, I think the first thing to remember is if graffiti is committed on any property, if it's done without permission, lawful authority, then it is an offence under the Criminal Damage Act.
So in the eyes of the law, it doesn't make any difference whether it's good, bad or ugly graffiti?
It doesn't make any difference. I'd like to remind everyone that is in a view of going out to commit some graffiti that if they are caught, then they are liable to prosecution, and if prosecuted and convicted, they will end up with a criminal record.
Right, but is danger part of the thrill for graffiti kids?
For taggers, which go out bombing the underground, it's a big thrill, and for artists who actually do murals, it's a big thrill to them because they want to put their art up and they want to
be seen.
They want to be seen by the public, not just doing it in a garage where it won't be seen or something. So
what about a compromise solution? I mean, say a city council put aside space for graffiti artists. Would it work, do you think?
Yeah, I think to a certain extent it would work. You'd always get the people that just really don't know what they're doing and just abuse it and give it a bad name, as with everything else. But it would clear up a lot of unwanted graffiti.
Right. Fine. Let's move on to Oog now. Oog, has 80s graffiti really changed the face of graffiti? It's got so big and colourful now.
Yeah, it's changed. I mean, it started in the caves, on the Roman monuments, but now it's not literal graffiti anymore. It's sort of more aesthetically pleasing and more... so in a way, it's difficult to compare the graffiti as we understood it in the past and the graffiti structure, graffiti technique that these guys, show us. It's not the same thing.
But from the art world's point of view, it's becoming high art in a sense, isn't it, with artists like Keith Haring and Jean-Michel Basquiat going off the wall and onto canvas.
They left the street, they started in the street, and then, somehow dealers and collectors and museums got interested in their work and asked them to work on traditional mediums, traditional supports, so that they could be shown inside the houses.
Right. But was it still art out on the street, or was it in fact purer art?
I think it probably was purer art in the street with this sort of freedom and the tradition of graffiti. You just, go out and say or write or paint what you think. Right. When you're asked to do it for a sort of more aesthetic reason, it has to go through the various stages to be then classified as art. And I think it's very difficult at the moment to say, well, Basquiat and Haring are artists. These guys maybe are not, just because they're not sold.
Do you see yourselves going into high art? I mean, would you move to canvas?
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on canvas a bit at foundation course in Brighton.
Right.
And I can see both ways working. I mean, I can see some of my graffiti in my canvas working some.
Okay, I've got to round up the discussion now. I'm going to actually finish with a quote because I thought it was rather good when I came across it in this book, Spray Can Art. Graffiti is not vandalism, but a very beautiful crime. Right, well,